Welcome in, everyone. Thank you, Miss Glenn, for being here so early. My goodness. Eager beaver over there. We are just going to chill out for a hot minute, and then we are going to get live with the Wordle. The Wordle of the day. Hello, yes. I think today's been a good day. I have a lot to catch you guys up on. A lot of things have happened. Been a busy week for me. Oh no, camera's not going to be in the right place. Hold on. See, I fixed that problem there. There we are. Look at that. Welcome in, everyone. We're not playing WWE 12. That's the wrong category. Mobile game? WWE Generations? Oh my god, there is actually a category for that. Cool. Okay. Welcome in, Cutty. Cutty, how are you? Hope you're good, man. There we are, WWE Generations. Ah, shit. How do I show you? Oh, I can show you things. So we went to... I should make sure there's nothing, like, really bad in my camera roll. I'm using my phone sideways before anyone's like, why is he, like, tilting his head like that? I think this will work, actually. Hold on. You're good. Happy to watch you while you're working. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I'm glad I can keep you company while you're living the corporate life, you know? Increasing shareholder value and all that. I have changed my audio settings a little bit, so I'm sorry if there is any weirdness. The audio, I just turned my fan on, that's why I'm saying that. I want to recap you guys on my week. I've had a pretty productive week. Actually, what did I do at the start of the week? I mean, I guess like the main thing, right? The biggest thing is that me and my friend Oos went to AEW Dynamite and Collision. So very, very fun stuff. Very last minute stuff as well. We call him Oos because his name's Osama, and it's just easier to shorten Osama to Oos. I've got quite a lesbian quiff going on here. I love it. What's going on here? My hair's doing things today, but I think if I show you this, I think it will work. So, if you didn't know, AEW this week was in Glasgow, Scotland. Now, I'm actually not in Glasgow, but I am in Edinburgh. Now, Edinburgh has been in the news recently because obviously Grand Theft Auto 6 just had their big, massive gameplay reveal. If you didn't know, Grand Theft Auto 6 primarily, it's not just made in Edinburgh, but it's primarily developed here in Edinburgh. So I actually live, I don't want to dox myself, but I don't live too far away from Rockstar. And basically my morning commute to work is usually past the back of that building. So, I mean, a lot of people probably have that. To be honest, it's quite a central building. It's literally in the center of the city. But anyway, because I'm in Edinburgh, that meant I had to travel through. So I traveled through to Glasgow the whole time, by the way, playing WWE Champions, because this game has, not Champions, Generations. Because this game's got me hooked, brother. But when I got into Glasgow, if you didn't know what's going on there as well, other than AEW and Collision, Dynamite and Collision, that is. Welcome in, Jord. They also have the set for Batman, the Batman, the what's his face? Oh my god, Robert Pattinson film that's coming out. So they're currently filming the Batman in Glasgow. So literally, like, when I came out of the station, I got off at Glasgow Central. I literally turned left because that's where my hotel was. That's where the Hydro is. And literally, like, as I was going down the street, I was like, wait a minute. And I'm seeing all these things. So obviously I walked past the Warner Brothers lighting set. I never actually took a picture of it, but like it was a big crane with like actual lights attached to it. There was also this thing here, which I thought was quite funny. It was the Gotham Lucky Potato, which I guess is like a hot potato or a baked potato stand. I didn't actually check these. What's on these? These look real, although they're obviously in dollars, which Glasgow wouldn't be using. I mean, these are kind of nice. Cinnamon roll. I wonder if those are real social medias. Hashtag Gotham Lucky Potato and @Lucky Potato. I mean, that's pretty authentic. Anyway, there were so many of these little details here in on the set. Like, this building's here. I'm pretty sure this building is real, but like they obviously dressed it up with the American flag and stuff, and it looks so cool. Obviously, the building is real. I don't actually know what the building is when it's not dressed up for Gotham, but it did look very cool. We also had, I'm sorry for all these random people that I've taken a picture of, but it's the only picture I could get of the GCPD SWAT van. I thought that was very cool. Obviously, they have these tanks covered in well, snow, but it's actually salt. There were bags of salt everywhere, so that was pretty cool. They also have American or New York, not New York, but like kind of like fire, I guess New York fire hydrants. I've never been to New York, so you tell me. But yeah, there's these like, I seem not to have a good picture of it, but this little like stand here on the right was clearly for like a street lamp coming down, and then you had this fire hydrant, and I guess the news or the post boxes are also designed like Gotham, which is pretty cool. There were so fucking many Gotham police cars, like honestly, so goddamn many. And obviously, again, all covered in various forms of salt/snow, with no license plates either. And they're all in various states of duress as well. Some of them were just completely taken apart. Some of them, well, there was like one car that was literally just half a car, which is hilarious. They also converted a local restaurant into the Gotham Fork, which is pretty fun. So sorry to that random person I papped, but yeah, the Gotham Fork, which is like a Gotham restaurant, is very cool. And also, this is all just backdrop, right? None of this is actually going to really be seen or used in the film, I would imagine anyway. But obviously, as stuff is happening in the film, they will be going past these streets, and obviously they don't want like the Scottish road signs up there. They want to make sure this is Gotham. So there's even this is above a real parking meter, by the way. So it could be quite confusing to anyone who was actually trying to park. I mean, there wasn't really many parking spaces. It was mostly taken up by the Gotham police cars. But yeah, there's all these fake signs everywhere. There's Gotham City taxis. There's my finger because I'm a boomer when I'm taking photos. But I mostly just wanted to take a picture of the I don't know what that is, stop drops, Gotham Health Department. But I thought that the image here looked a little bit like Scarecrow. I don't know if you guys know Batman, but I was just like, it kind of looks like Scarecrow. That's pretty cool. And again, another parking meter sign thing. So I was like, that's a really cool little Scarecrow reference. If it is Scarecrow, I have no idea. I didn't even notice I took this in the picture, but there's also so many police bikes. Oh my god, they must be filming some crazy like chase or something, because there are so many. And this is what I was talking about, all the different cars that are like split. I didn't even notice I took a picture of this. I was actually taking a picture of this car, not realizing that there's also this half of a car. Curious how they maybe that's for like putting a camera in, so they can put the camera in the car and just like push it. I have no idea. And then this one like has no wheels, so I would imagine this is probably one that like gets kind of thrown in the air or something crazy like that. I have no idea. I've done something. Yeah, and then another closer look at the GCPD kind of SWAT vans, I guess, the heavy duty vans. And I think I took a cheeky little selfie in front of one of the cars. You might have seen that on social media. But that was pretty fun. Likewise, we also have even more Gotham. Oh, there we are. So these are my hotel room. I don't think people need to see my hotel room. Oh god. I did record a somewhat inappropriate video. I tried to vlog. Oh god, I'm not a good vlogger. Anyway, going to the building, they had this QR codes. I don't understand what it is, and I felt kind of stupid at the end of it, right? So usually at WWE shows, they do have like a barcode where you can scan your barcode or scan the screen barcode, take a picture, and you usually end up on the screen of some kind, like during the breaks or whatever. So I assumed here that this would be like upload a picture and then you'll be shown on the screen. That never happened, so I have no idea really what the point of that was. But anyway, this is the photo that we took. Me and my friend Us. I'm embarrassing my friend at this point, but this poor person behind me, I'm very sorry that I took a really ugly picture of you. I'm so sorry. But anyway, these things happen when you try and take a really quick selfie, I suppose. Here I am also trying to find my friend. So my friend Blair. So this was my view for the show, right? By the way, amazing seats that we were in. Could basically see everything. So this is primarily my main view for the whole show. And although in the pictures always look more zoomed out. If you've ever been to a live wrestling show, when you take a picture on your phone, it never quite does it justice of like how much you can see, right? So I could probably see that quite, like when you're in the building, it looks like that. So it was a really good view. We could see pretty much everything. But anyway, my friend Blair is sat over here, right? So at the start of the show, I was like really, really trying to find him. So I took quite a few pictures of like, I think he's here somewhere. And then I eventually narrowed it down because he told me, and it turns out he's right here on his phone. That's him right here. That bald looking John Moxley ass motherfucker was sat right there. So I managed to pop him, thankfully, and he was somewhere over here. He's probably on hard cam, to be honest. I haven't watched the show back, so I have no idea what was on camera and what wasn't. But yeah, like I took lots of different photos at different resolutions, different formats. I'm always really interested by all the little details that are like in the lighting rigs and stuff. Like the fact that they use these LED lamps to light the ring is so interesting. And all of these chains up here, I don't think I got a picture, but all these chains that go up to hold it up, they're literally just attached to beams in the roof. I just find that so fascinating that like magic cables go into the roof. It's crazy to me. There was also these really cool lighting beams here. This is a really low res image because I think I cropped it for social media, but yeah, this is a better one here. So there was these like moving heads and LED lamps and stuff all around, all above the ring, and it really lit the crowd up really, really well. But we didn't really get lit up because we were on like the hard cam side. So why would you ever want to, like the camera never saw us, so you were never gonna light us up, basically. And then we get into the videos. I don't think there's audio playing. Yeah, I don't know how to get audio playing. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You don't need audio for this part. But I believe I caught this guy's entrance. I have no idea who he is. But he was part of the dark match where we got to see Grado come out. And Grado came out to Madonna as well, which doesn't usually happen at these kind of shows. Obviously, Madonna's with the licensed music, so it's not often that would happen. But it was nice that he got that moment. Because I remember when, I don't know if you guys, I don't even know if it was on the pre-show or if it was on TV or what, but Grado did come out to All In Wembley one year. I think it was the first year maybe, but he came out with the Big Show. So he came out to like Big Show's music, not Madonna licensing and all that. So I remember that did happen. That was fun. What else is there? I just took loads of videos, honestly. The big man came out. The big man himself, Tony Khan, came out. He was so goofy. I don't know why he's got security behind him. That's really funny, actually. No one else had that. That was just him. But yeah, TK came out and that was fun. I don't know how I feel about Tony Khan, to be honest. He's a bit of a weirdo, but he seems like a nice weirdo, but there's no ethical rich people, right? So I have no idea. But he was so funny. He was just he did his usual screaming, high pitched screaming, and his like little fist was like this, and he was like, "Everyone, let's have fun, let's enjoy the show, let's enjoy AEW." And it was funny. This is 4 minutes. I would assume this has the intro here. If you've ever been to an AEW show, it's pretty exciting. It's funny though, because they don't really play. They don't always play like a video to start the show, so you're kind of just like, you're just in there. And Tony obviously did his introduction, and then they play the music, and then it was just pyro. Like there was no intro video or anything. We were just kind of like, okay, show starts now, I guess. But obviously it's really, really fun to see all the pyrotechnics and the lights and stuff. Those flames, by the way, you can actually feel the flame. We were I guess we weren't super far back, but like in terms of the building, like you could feel the flames. Now I don't know why that surprises me, because we were in Wembley the other year and I felt the flames from the stage, and we were much further away in Wembley. But yeah, like it's such an awesome environment to be in. If you get a chance to go to a live wrestling show, you should absolutely do it. Here you can see as well, obviously, the kind of production of how it works. So they're talking to the commentators before the start of the show, and then it goes into Ospreay's entrance. And it's funny because all this is happening and you never have any context, right? We were there at the show and we had no idea what was going on or like who was going to be on. It was really, really fun. It was quite nice not knowing what was going to happen in a way, because it was just very much like anyone could come out, any match could happen. And yeah, like we got to see some of the big hitters. I'm just going to fast forward, or I'm not going to fast forward, but I'm going to go through as many of these videos as I can. I think one of the first. What was the first match? Oh, the first match was really funny because I think it was. Oh no, that's not the first match. Oh, I have no idea. Moxley and Claudio happened. Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro, John Moxley, Dean Ambrose. But they're part of the same faction, so it was really funny. We couldn't really see it very well, but like legitimately, they both had the same entrance and they both came out the same door. And if you know about the Death Riders, about the faction that they're in, they usually come through the fans. And I'm curious how this looked on TV, because when they came out of this little side door here, and there were no fans there whatsoever. You can see that in my video. Like, all the fans were quite far away from them. I mean, it probably does look good on the camera because of like how they filmed it there, because it's pointing towards the fans. But like, yeah, Moxley wasn't really near any of the fans. There was this really large area here. There was this really large area here where like the fans weren't really allowed to go, and Moxley was pretty safe. Again, though, I just thought it was funny that they both had the same entrance. I guess we got to see. I think the key people that I wanted to see was Edge, so I'm very happy that we got to see Edge here, especially with the pyro and stuff. I think that was so cool. What an awesome! Oh man, I could die happy now. That's such. Oh hell yes! It's probably good that you can't hear this video actually, because I was singing the song just as loud as I absolutely could. I also think I got a pretty good camera angle here. Hold on, because at the end of the song, he gets pumped up by the fans because we're singing his song, and I think I zoomed in. Look at that! It's almost like I filmed wrestling shows before, so that was fun. Then the Bucks came out. We had Rocky Romero. Rocky Romero is pretty cool. I really like. I like seeing Rocky Romero just kicking about AEW. he's kind of a New Japan legend with Roppongi Vice and stuff. Welcome in, Hitman. We're just recapping my trip to AEW on Wednesday. I guess I should say Collision spoilers. You might see Collision spoilers, but you can also just read them online. It was funny though, because obviously AEW, they kept saying pretty much every single break they kept being like, hey, by the way, we're filming Collision after this, please don't leave. Like, and basically every single break that they had was constantly, hey, we are filming Collision after this show, please don't leave. But the thing is, they never announced who was on the show. They never announced anyone who was going to be on Collision. And usually you would be like, oh, you want to stick around for the end of Collision because, like, the main event of Collision is Jay White. They could have just been like, if you want to see Jay White, stick around to the end of Collision, you know? Like, I don't know why they didn't just say, like, the end of Collision was just like a massive tag team orgy of people, and honestly, you could have just said anyone in there and I would have been like, cool, I will stick around for some of those people. I don't know why they kept being like, honestly, every single break they were like, by the way guys, we're still gonna film Collision after this, please don't leave. But they wouldn't announce any actual talent that was going to be at the show. So that was really, really odd. And it was funny because, you know, I was going to make a vlog of this, but this kind of works out just as well, right? Really, really good wrestling, I guess. I tried to get as many entrances as I could because obviously the entrances are the pizzazz, shall we say. I think AEW does entrances fairly well. I've always thought their pyro was a bit weak compared to like the WWE, because obviously the WWE uses like different style of pyro, I guess. Who's that? Swerve. Okay, so Swerve and Jungle Boy. So this is the main event for Dynamite, right? I don't know if you guys watched Dynamite, but yeah. It was quite cool seeing Jungle Boy's entrance live, because obviously the fans are waving their hands and all that. There's a lot of interaction with that, and we were singing for Swerve, but you know, it was still cool to see Jack get like a lot of good crowd reactions, especially since, again, I've been out of the AEW loop for a little bit, so it was quite nice just to kind of hear gauge people's like excitement for certain characters, certain people, given the fact that like I don't know anyone who's really on the roster anymore. Like, I know who they are, obviously, but I don't know how popular they may or may not be. What was that? Oh, I think I think they botched this, and I just caught it on camera. I think Jack goes for like a massive moonsault, and they totally whiff it. Oh god, that's terrifying. Jack is so lucky, so lucky. And then Dynamite ended. I feel like I recorded the whole thing, actually. Dynamite ended. I actually did record the whole thing. It took them 5 minutes to change the ring. So it took them 5 minutes to change it from Collision to Dynamite. No, from Dynamite to Collision. So it took them 5 minutes to clean the ring, change the screen graphics, change the ring skirts. And then literally they were just like immediately into Collision. I think they did a pyro intro for that as well. Oh yeah, Tony Khan came out again. Don't know why. Again, it didn't actually announce anything. It was literally just like, hey, by the way, guys, we're going to be taping Collision now. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And then, yeah, it was just a really bizarre order of events, I guess. It didn't, so in some ways, it didn't feel like a show, if that makes any sense. Like, I think WWE might be slightly, not to compare the two of them, they're different shows, but WWE might be slightly better at presenting the live experience as a show. Whereas like AEW, there was no communication as to what matches were going to be on, what was going on. So we were very much just left out of the loop. Literally, it was just a compilation of random matches in AEW, and we just whatever. I think the funniest thing about this was the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes there where they were changing from Dynamite to Collision, we were very much like, I wonder how many people are going to leave this show. Like, how many people are going to leave now that Dynamite's finished and we're going on to Collision? Now, it probably helps that Dynamite wasn't amazing, but Collision immediately opened with Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her. I personally don't like her, but she's a star. Like, I totally understand that she's a big star. Like Hitman, you said you're indifferent about Jack Perry. I think I'm also indifferent about Jack Perry. I like him. I see Punk's side of it, but I also understand Jack wanting to be his own person and all that shit. I think he's done really, really well. And likewise with Sasha Banks, I dead name wrestlers all the time. I'm very sorry, but like I can't help but think that Sasha Banks is a better name. But yeah, Mercedes here, you know, she was amazing. And she faced local hero Isla Dawn, which got a good surprise from us. Again, it was a nice pop because we weren't expecting her to turn up, but also at the same time, why didn't you just say, hey, by the way, we have they could have got Nikki Storm. That would have been really cool to get Nikki Storm in there. But anyway, Isla Dawn, very cool. I think this is Ciampa. Dude, the guys behind me were fucking so into Ciampa. They were singing every goddamn word of his song. Now, forgive me, right? I'm not familiar with his game. Obviously, I know Ciampa from his WWE run, his NXT Black and Gold run, but like, the time has passed, and you know, seeing him in AEW, like he's had awesome matches in AEW from what I've seen, but also I'm just kind of like, he seems like he's middling. He's kind of in the middle here. Famously, I apparently hate him. I've lost subscribers over that, famously. So I don't hate him. I have a weird opinion of him. But it was cool to see him. You know, it was very cool to see him, and he was part of a tag team match. I think there was a whole bunch of tag team matches on the card. Very big surprise to see Jericho. We didn't expect to see Jericho again. They could, like, Jericho wasn't on Dynamite. They could have just said, stick around to Collision and you'll see Jericho. Like, anyway, moving on then to the main-ish event, I guess. Oh, this was cool. I didn't catch the third guy's name. I think it's like Brandon Riley, but it's Ronan King and Judas Gray. They're people I've worked with in like Discovery Wrestling and Reckless Intent and stuff here in Scotland. So I've filmed and worked with these guys in other like wrestling contexts, and I didn't know they were going to be there. And when I saw them coming down like the side ramp, I was like, I know those people. Unfortunately, they got fed to the War Dogs here, which is totally fair. And my God, did they get their ass kicked. But nah, great job to those guys. I absolutely fucking love working with them. We have the Don Callis family coming out to do a promo. We thought, I don't want to spoil it actually. We thought somebody was going to turn up. They didn't turn up. And then Kyle Fletcher turned up. What was the main event? Was this the main event? Takeshita Beast Mortos? No, it wasn't. We thought that might be the main event because we thought maybe we would get Okada. We thought maybe Okada would run in, or something with Okada. The crowd was chanting Okada pretty loud, but unfortunately for us anyway, he wasn't there. Oh, that's right. There was a big women's tag match as well that had the CMLL Women's Champion, I believe. That was pretty cool. And then moving on, there was a absolutely massive smorgasbord tag team to end the show. There was no dark match at the end. And it was just absolute. This was just war. Unfortunately, though, my friend Oos had to leave a bit early just to kind of beat the traffic, which meant that I just ended up watching the last part of this match alone, which is fine. But it was still fun. It was very fun. At the end of it, without spoiling any of the results, we did have a big brawl to end the show, which was very fun. And I hope I caught it here, but I believe this brawl was interrupted by none other than the hardcore legend himself, Mick goddamn motherfucking Foley. Very fun to have him do like the bang bang thing with the bang bang gang. This is stuff that you will not see on TV. This was all just like for us in the live building. Mick cut a very fun promo, I have to admit. Nothing crazy, just the usual stuff. Thanks to everyone for being here. There was no space for me on the show, but I'll be there on Sunday. Thank you to AEW for making me fall in love with wrestling. And then they did a bit of a bang bang thing with the Bang Bang Gang. And then I think they got everyone to do the Macarena, which is really random. Orange Cassidy was there. And then as the building was clearing out, I took one last picture of the arena and a cheeky little selfie. The first one's a little bit less happy because I'm trying to get the lighting right, but the second one I'm a little bit happier. Now I don't usually smile, all right? I'm not a smiler in photos, but I couldn't help myself but take a little smile. And that was my trip to AEW. AEW Collision and Dynamite, really good fun overall. Maybe this is a complaint I've had of AEW for the longest time. Maybe their shows are just a tad too long. Oh, actually, you would have had audio if I fucking unmuted the audio source, dumbass. Okay, you could have had audio if I wasn't such a thicko. But no, AEW, super fun. I've now officially been to, like, I've been to WWE live events, I've been to NXT live events, I've been to WWE TV, I've been to WWE pay-per-views, I've been to 2 All-Ins in Wembley, and I've now been to Dynamite and Collision. So I've basically seen, and I've obviously worked on the indies, in the Scottish indies for a little bit, so I've seen my fair share now of live wrestling. So I'm very happy that I can, like, give some perspective here about what it's like being in the building for a live TV show, or what it's like for like recording a Collision or Dynamite. I think that there was a lot less downtime. I will say that this for Dynamite felt super fast because the match would happen, obviously the ad break would kick in, the person would like leave, and then they would play their music forever as they were leaving. And then by the time they left, then it was like, let's go to the next segment, let's go to the next match. So it was literally like, it felt super fast. It felt like a live event in that regard of match, person is like shaking hands, signing things, leaving, and then as soon as they leave, it was like the host, I can't remember her name, it's Kenzie something, I'm pretty sure, she would come out and she'd be like, oh, we're going to be live again in 3, 2, 1, and get the crowd to pop. And then the next person would come out, and it was like it was like that for the whole show. Dynamite maybe had a little bit more waiting around. There was a couple of like on-screen promos, but like if you've ever been to a WWE event, there is a lot of waiting between matches. So AEW felt less like a show, but like it was paced maybe better in a way. Although it was like over 4 hours though. It was two 2-hour shows and they overran. So they started, well, I don't know if they did overrun. They started late. AEW never starts on time, famously. So I guess like it started about 20 minutes late because I don't think it was live for you guys. I think it was shown later. So what we saw in the building wasn't necessarily live. So I'm curious. I'd like to watch it back. I haven't had a chance to watch it back yet and see like what changes they made, what if they made any cuts, or you know. We made some very nasty chants to some people. Don Callis especially, we were chanting like shut the fuck up and stuff. So I'm curious to see if that ever makes it in. So yeah, I had a really good time in Glasgow, you know, going to visit the Batman set, going to Dynamite and Collision. Just spending some time in the city with no time constraints, actually being able to go visit some cafes and stuff. It was really like, I'm in a bit of a health kick at them, not a dietary health kick, but I'm just about living life, you know. It was very nice to go to these like places and actually just exist in the space for a while. I never like going to Glasgow City Central, so I was forcing myself to enjoy it for a minute. And yeah, like it was nice. So I came back here and I think I pretty much rested. I mean, it was a long day. I had a private meeting later on in the day that you guys don't need to know about. But it was good fun. Long day. And then here we are now, where we're about to jump into our regular Wordle. You know, we do our Wordles here. I have that loaded up actually. We can do that while we're yapping. Welcome in, Dawn. I hope you're well. Oh, we have a few more letters than usual. Let's go for our usual start. Lesnar. Oh wow, we actually got quite a lot of them there. So, yeah, probably not unless it's Les Mis, which it isn't. And there's an N, E. Henaro? No. Oh, there's an L in there as well, though. Henare, that's the one I was thinking of, thank you. But it's not that, unfortunately. So, unless it's wonder if it's NE. It's not going to be Jobber. That actually would fit in there. It's not going to be Jobber. I wonder if the N. I wonder. So it doesn't. The L doesn't start there, and there's no way. I think it's this. I think it's like that. Does this look familiar to anyone? L. Is it Del? And well, there's an A in there, right? So it could be AN. Helen. Hell. I mean, no, it can't be. No. Wait, the A can't be there. It can't be in those two spots. So either it's that, which seems odd. Real one. Real on. No. Wait, it doesn't end in an N. Nelson. No, it can't. Wait, so it has to be that. I guess actually it might not be that. Hold on. E L. It could be that, or it could be that. Okay. Huh. Selena? Oh, maybe it's Zelina. Oh, thank you so much, Dawn. You almost got that right. Selena. Very cool. Sorry, I wasn't talking so much. I was thinking the grid we can do while talking. Oh, God. Okay. It's always the weird categories that we get here. It's always AEW as well. So 2019 roster 5.25, probably Omega. Yeah, we'll go for that. Bullet Club leaders, probably Styles. Excuse me, no Styles. Balor. Okay. Jay White, of course, that makes sense. Beat Orton on a 1v1 pay-per-view and had a 5.25 star match. Roman. Okay. Edge. Okay. An AEW 2019 person who's in 2K25, probably Cody. An AEW 2019 person who's a cruiserweight. Sunny Kiss. Is she there? They. Sunny. No. 2019 Darby Allin, I guess. A cruiserweight who's beat Orton, probably Mysterio. Yeah, that was pretty simple. That one was pretty simple. Thanks for your help, everyone. Elite Nova, thank you for your help on that one. That was you can have the win on that one. The connections is always fun as well. Let's see if we can blast through the connections here a little bit. So we have like a main event mafia. Angle, Steiner, Booker T, Diesel, main event mafia, motherfucker, hell yes. I feel like we always mention the main event mafia at least once during a live stream. Punk. So it's not WWE champion. It could be Intercontinental champions. Could also be like main eventers. These are like IC champions. I'm not convinced that Black or Andrade ever held. Oh, apparently that's the connection then. So I must be missing something. Are they like European? No. Where's Perez from? She's from like America, right? It's something about these three. NXT? I feel like I'm going to try everyone now. Europe. I always forget that Julia is European. She was born in England. I think she's like London or Essex, but she grew up in Japan. She's really unusual. That's not common. Okay. So then we have Sky Morgan. Legend. Is that just women's tag team champions? Yeah, women's tag team champions. And then these 4 are just AEW from a certain year, maybe? Oh, AEW and WWE singles titles. Okay. Don't think I would have necessarily have figured. I just guessed that randomly. I don't think I would have figured that one out. All right, Val Venus. He has to have been a hardcore champion at some point. Really? He wasn't? My God. Finn Balor was the first Universal Champion. Shingo Takagi doesn't fit into any of these categories. Never been in AAA. Tiffany Stratton. Nope. Emma Royal Rumble. Nope. The Hurricane's been a hardcore champion. He had one of the best losses I've seen for that title. Lee Moriarty, maybe in TNA. That was a random guess, but no. Carl Anderson. No. Blake Monroe. Takeshita. Probably been in Owen Hart Cup? No, he hasn't. Okay. Lash Legend doesn't fit any of these. Kofi Kingston. Kind of gotten actually that Kofi's never won the Royal Rumble or something. Kofi was US champion? When did he? What? When on earth did he hold that US title? Kip Sabian. Nope. John Cena's won a Royal Rumble. Julia doesn't fit. Eat that. CM Punk's a World Heavyweight Champion. Lorenzo. JBL. Dude, JBL would have fit into the main event Mafia so well. Was he at WrestleMania 18? Okay, he was. I couldn't remember if he was or not. Fabian Eichner. AAA? No. Shad Gaspard, rest in peace. Was he in TNA? No, 2008. I feel like I would have remembered that. John Silver, Edge. Nope. 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 Booker T, main event Mafia. Chris Masters was not in TNA. Good to know. Booker T, 2008. He was in TNA in 2008. Savage, Inoki, famously didn't like AAA. I think. Ricky Saints, he's been in the cup. I couldn't remember if he'd won it or not. Bushi, probably AAA. Nope. Dominic, probably AAA. He's the champion right now, actually. So now we need to just find a member of Legacy, which will be Cody, Ted DiBiase, or Orton. And we need to find someone who's faced Moxley, Christian. Peep's not in the chat, but Christian fits into there. So we just need to find a member of Legacy now, which is going to be Ted DiBiase Jr. So there we are. Bingo's quite simple, to be honest. The recipe ladder is a little bit more complicated. We always have a little bit of trouble with this one. So the AEW TNT title, the most reigns. Now, I'm definitely going to need you guys for this one. I only know a few. So Cody, Brody. Okay. Darby Allin. That's basically where my reigns end. Dustin Rhodes, take your word for it. Dustin Goldust. No, he's not on the list. This is the most reigns. So it's not necessarily who's held it most recently. Garcia did hold the belt. I remember that. Oh, Who's had the most reigns? The thing is, the people I think of being synonymous with that title don't work there anymore. Sammy Guevara. Archer? Is he? Oh, I didn't even know if he held the belt or not. AEW TNT title. The thing is, like, Cody had a really bad, like, he would kind of just like drop the belt and then win it back. TNT Championship history. I don't want to like see the answer, but there's a few pictures here. I can look at the pictures. Adam Cole. There's a picture. Adam Cole. Okay, Wardlow. Forgot that Wardlow ever held the title. Did Rusev? Rusev held the belt for a while, right? Rusev. Okay. Moxley. Cage. Okay. Luchasaurus. Okay. So Christian was one. Did Edge hold the belt? I can't remember if Edge held the belt or not. Okay, Edge did hold the belt. And we got Sammy. Scorpio Sky? But then how many times do you have to have held it? Scorpio Sky? Like, how many times did he hold the belt? Ciampa? He just won the belt recently, right? Ciampa? No. Okay, well, I guess he lost it. Fletcher? Fletcher's the champion now. Okay. There's Kevin Knight as well. There's a picture of him. Oh, of course, Jack Perry. Come on. Jack Perry with his like barbed wire title. How could I forget that mess? Eddie Kingston? Did I guess Adam Cole? I think I did. Adam Cole. Do a Ciampa. Has MJF ever held the belt? MJF's not on the list. Kevin Knight, I could guess that. Kevin Knight, he's not on the list. Brody Lee only held the belt once, I think, but I already guessed him. Samoa Joe. Oops, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, number 7, 6. What was that? 7. Oh, that's quite an interesting tier list there. I feel like Rusev only held the belt like once though. Then again, I mean, we were sitting in the building for Dynamite on Wednesday being like, AEW's getting on. Like, it's been a couple years now. In a good way. So they've now been around longer than Nitro was. That was interesting. Our first guest here is always Omega. I know you guys don't like this game, but we'll do it anyway. So it's an AEW female, not Canadian. Sasha Banks. What's her name? Mercedes Moné. So it's an American female who's held world title. She's American. Britt Baker. Okay. Wow, we guessed that one pretty quickly. Has Britt Baker never held... Is there any... How has she never held any other title? She's a one-time women's champion. That's great. That's... Okay. Well, we nailed that one pretty fast. The last one then, the newest one, is the match card. The match card. Survivor Series 2007. Oh, no. Is this the one that has Edge on the poster? 2007. Okay. Okay, Taker is in the main event. 2007. Edge. Cena. Orton. CM Punk. What? Okay, Morrison. Benoit's never on the list, so not Benoit. The Pope D'Angelo, what's his name these days? Elijah Burke. Lashley. RVD. Rob Van Dam. Jesus. Undertaker and Orton? I think I guessed Orton, didn't I? Randy Orton. Oh yeah, Orton's already been added. Batista's a good shout. Batista. Big Show. Sabu. That's the next year, Gary. Also, I didn't realize there was 10 women back in 2007. And Trish and Lita weren't in there? Fucking hell. I got one. I got one woman. So, Candace, Stacy Keibler, Chaz. What about Kane? It's gotta be Kane. No Kane. Tommy Dreamer. Nope. Nunzio. Nope. It could be Nunzio, but it's not. Joy Giovanni. She's not even on the list. She's not getting in. John ECW Championship. John Morrison. Was it Kurt Angle? John Morrison, CM Punk in a triple threat match, and it wasn't Benoit. And it wasn't Lashley, and it wasn't Sabu, and it wasn't Tommy Dreamer. Who the fuck else? Sandman? Who? Oh, Victoria. That's such a good one. Victoria. Trish is not in there. Mickey James is. Beth Phoenix. Mark Henry's a good shout. Okay, Mark Henry's not. Oh my god, there's so many people. 2007. Who's in the 2007 game? Rey Mysterio. Nope. Triple H. Nope. Shawn Michaels. Orton and Shawn. Batista Taker. Okay. So 2007. Think. Edge. I feel like Edge was on the poster for that show. The Boogeyman. Nope. Simon Dean. Nope. Not even on the list. Not getting in. I'm going for the game roster in my head and being like, who? MVP? Nope, not MVP. Cody? It's a bit early for Cody. Shelton Benjamin's a good shout, actually. But he's not. He's not the right answer. What's this singles match in the middle? What is this all about? Hold on. WWE roster 2007. Is it fucking Balls Mahoney? Oh, apparently Big Show was injured. So we have Booker T, because we did guess the Biggie Man. No Booker T. Carlito. No Carlito. So we had CM Punk. Jericho. Jericho was still in WWE at this time. Cali. That's a good shout. Oh my god. Cali. Miz. Oh my fucking god. It was the Miz. I forgot that Miz was in a tag team with Morrison. He was such a loser. Masters? No Masters. So who would be facing Cali at the 2007 Survivor Series pay-per-view? Maybe a big guy? Drew McIntyre? Donald Trump's on the list? What the fuck? Would it be I think it would be a big guy. I don't think it'd be a random. Hardy? Hornswoggle. That would be amazing, by the way. So we already guessed Kane. Kane would have been a good one. We already guessed Henry. Henry also could have been a good one. Cali didn't face that many people. He faced the same people all the time because Cali was absolutely shite. Umaga? No, and it wasn't Triple H. Wasn't Sabu, Ray, Sandman, Orton, Miz. What a roster. Holy shit. Joey Styles? Is it Hornswoggle? Are you being serious? It was actually Hornswoggle. Who booked that shit? Why was it Cali versus Hornswoggle? We need to look this up. The world is watching. Cali versus Hornswoggle. The first one, Great Khali takes on Hornswoggle in gigantic mismatch. The second one, Hornswoggle telling the Great Khali he sucked. Oh my god. Because 2007 was when I started to get back into wrestling. So yeah, that was an experience. Michelle McCool and Layla. That's a good shout. Michelle McCool, Layla, Natalia. Nope. Kelly. That's a weird picture of Kelly. Melina, Maria Kanellis, and Ashley was still alive at that point. Nope, she's not in there. So we're missing a face. Tori Wilson? Nice. That was I honestly I don't have that on the other menu. I was looking at this list of women from SmackDown Hotel, so I just happened to guess so many of them. By the way, though, who the fuck is Chrissy Vane? Is she real? All the other ones, I think I remember. I think Ariel kicked about with Kevin Thorne. Sherry, I don't remember her wrestling a match. I think she was with Deuce and Domino. Brooke Adams? I have no idea who that is. And I have no idea who Chrissy Vane is. What? She was around for September. She was around for like 10 days. What? She debuted for a week. Low card is right. I'd love to know what match she had. She must have had one match. That's just crazy. All right. Brooke Tessmaker. Brooke Adams. I recognize that name though. She's been around, right? I guess she stopped in 2013. Oh god, she's not dead, is she? Oh, she's TNA. Yeah, that rings a bell. I guess so. She got started in ECW for a year, and then she went to TNA for a good chunk of time. 7 years. And she was part of Aces and Eights, multiple-time Knockouts champion. All right, you know what? I didn't know who Brooke Adams was, but I've clearly been proven infinitely wrong. All right, well, that is all of the Wordles of the day. Shall we hop on to the main event? Of course, the main event being a game that I would like to just showcase to you guys, really. We played it a little bit the other week, but it's had me absolutely hooked. I've been playing a ton of it. The only downside is the game is not available in all regions yet. So whatever I'm about to show you, just bear in mind that it is not available it may not be available in your region as of yet. Welcome to WWE Champions. No music? There should be sound. Generate. Did I say the wrong name? Game? Did I say the wrong name again? I keep doing that. I feel like there should be sound coming out of this, but it's not. I'm gonna restart the game. Hold on. Yeah, WWE Generations Eras Collide. It's not out in all regions yet, but I've been able to acquire. It's actually pretty close to me though. It was out. I was reliably informed that the game's out in Ireland, and Ireland's close enough to me. Camlink? Anybody? Is there no audio? Oh, because I turned the volume down. I'm a dafty. All right, so this is WWE Generations, as I said. I want to give you guys a little walkthrough of the game, right? Because we did stream this game before, but it was really just like my first introduction. I have put about 2 full weeks into this game now, where I'm at level 42. So literally, like, on the last stream I did, I was just starting the game. Now I'm literally like 42. That's pretty far in the game, I would say. I've not actually done anything today. So I think I have access to... Ah, shit. Okay, so when you load into the game, obviously, like I did, you're going to really go into you're going to go into the campaigns, right? The campaigns really where the story's at. So you have multiple campaigns available to you. You're going to start with the Then, Now, Forever campaign, but you will also have access to, I think, the Women's Revolution, maybe the Legends of WrestleMania. But as you progress into the game and you get more characters and stuff, you will unlock more campaigns to play in. And basically there is a narrative that starts in the Then, Now, Forever, which we did play a little bit of. We played through most of it, or we played through a little bit of the first part, I think, of the campaign for Then, Now, Forever. Every single match you do will give you like narrative. So for example, I'll see if I get this right. I think it was 2-1. There we are. So literally in the first campaign, the 1-1 to 1-6 or whatever it is, it's basically your tutorial. Once you complete that, here is the next story evolution, shall we say. So I'm being a dumbass, hold on. There we are. Paul, I expected more from you, but since you couldn't get the job done against the manager, that's us, the player, I'll get those who can. But my final boss, this wasn't the plan. It doesn't matter what the plan was, the final boss does everything big. So let's make these challenges truly electrifying. I'm assembling all generations of WWE, then, now, and forever together, whatever. All under one WWE roof, baby. The Mouth of the South is going to put together teams you could only dream of. So he summoned Jimmy Hart, Paul Bearer. The urn has spoken, and the spirits of every generation shall rise. Oh, yes. And then the past, present, the future. Everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man. I can't do the voice. I'm not going to do that. So you see here that the Rock has summoned these legendary managers to put together teams to basically beat you in this game. Now you can truly prove that you're the greatest manager of all time if you smell what the final boss is cooking. So that's basically the premise of the story. You're gonna defeat Paul Heyman in the first block, I guess. That's what we did on stream last time. And then as part of the second block here, you will unlock more of the story. And no shit, every campaign you do from here on will be part of that narrative. So I'm trying to remember who the manager was for this campaign. I can't remember, actually. Oh, it was Sensational Sherry is the manager for this campaign. So you're essentially trying to beat her. And then you go into the Legends of WrestleMania, who I think is Paul Heyman. Not Paul Heyman, Paul Bearer. And then I guess the Raw one was... I can't remember who the Raw one was. Bobby Heenan, that's right. Red Queens? This is one I've been struggling with actually for a while now. Oh, Captain Lou Albano is pretty cool. So yeah, basically all these like legendary managers have come through this portal, I guess, summoned by the final boss, The Rock, to fight you as the manager, and you will continue through the campaign. I've gone the way up to here. I'm going through. I think I finished Red Queens. I finished Red Queens. I'm now on to Brotherhood in Blue. I haven't even touched from Blue to Green, I don't think. You can do multiple campaigns at the same time, by the way. You don't have to do them. I think it is actually designed that you kind of jump back and forth between what is reasonable for you. But you can see here, you've got the Golden Era with the Ultimate Warrior there, and then you go into NXT, the Attitude Fucking Era, I guess. I don't know what the censored part means. And then NXT Man Up, which looks to be like the current end of the campaign, where you fight. It looks like you fight The Rock, but I'm assuming, yeah, I don't even have characters that I can take into that category. So here's one issue that I've ran into the game. Before I go into describing how the game works, essentially each campaign has like a kind of a limitation as to who you can take into that. So the Then Now Forever, you can basically take anyone, which is really handy. The Women's Revolution, though, you can only take in certain women, I think. In fact, no, it's just women, so that's actually okay. The Legends of WrestleMania might be where it gets a little bit more tricky, because you can only take legends into that campaign. And likewise for the Raw, you can only have Raw superstars. The Brotherhood in Blue, you can only have SmackDown. How does the Blue to Green one work? Female SmackDown. So the problem is, right, when I click on the I button here, you can see the character, the valid superstars that I have here. A lot of the times you will only have access to certain characters. So I was a little bit like, huh. It seems odd that like it's giving me the option to I don't necessarily hate the restriction, but the problem is, so this game has multiple currencies because it's a mobile game. So in the top right there, you've got your coins and your diamonds and all that. The problem I specifically ran into, and I'm basically saying this to warn other players when they pick up the game, just to be a little bit more careful. When I was playing the game, you get so many coins when you start the game because you're doing so many campaign missions and getting so many bonuses for starting the game. I was just leveling up people willy-nilly. Absolutely randomly just leveling up people, which basically you can see here, basically from like Julia down, Julia, Loomis, even like Farouk in theory to some extent. Like, I've leveled them up. I don't really use them, and because I wasn't following the expected path, I was wasting a lot of my money on like leveling up these characters that I'm never really going to use. So one thing I will suggest to you is just be careful that you're definitely following the progression path the game wants you to do, because if you do that, you are going to have a much smoother experience, generally speaking. So if you click on the road here, it's in the bottom right. The road is essentially your progression path. Everything you do here contributes to unlocking Stone Cold Steve Austin. I guess Stone Cold is kind of like the final unlockable, I guess, for this game at the moment. Obviously, this is a mobile game; it will be updated over time. It's not even out yet in most regions, so we don't like. We're talking about the end of the game. It's not even the end of the game. It's just begun, really. So if I have done a lot of these, right? So moving on then, so here, you know, equipping upgrades, recruiting Jey Uso, Otis, completing goals, completing matches, leveling up. These are all like the traditional things that you would be doing, and you see here as well, like the open chest one on the middle of your screen there. It says that if you complete that, open a basic chest, you get a basic chest every day. There's no reason you wouldn't do this. If you do this though, you get 40 Seth Rollins tokens that you can then use to basically rank up Seth. So it's like 100% this game has a progression path through the road that you should absolutely not necessarily stick to, but you should follow the path that the game is expecting. Otherwise, you're going to run into the situation I was in, where like you just can't progress in the game because you don't have the right people leveled up, and that using the road will help you get into matches a bit easier, for example. So here I can see the problem I've had is basically the road wants me to level up Kofi Kingston. But the thing is, I needed Kofi Kingston for the Brotherhood in Blue because I didn't have a SmackDown person to take in there anyway. So I had to kind of farm Kofi for a couple days, get some money to level him up. I'm going to have to do the same again here for Chelsea Green, because Chelsea Green's only at level 21. She needs to be level 35. Again, it probably would have been good for me to use her instead of leveling up other characters. Likewise, yeah, free matches with Kofi, Kingston, and Otis. I can probably do that. Complete the Brotherhood in Blue. And then we need to upgrade IRS, which we have done a little bit. But maybe I should have waited. I should have updated other characters before maybe doing IRS, so that way I wouldn't have ran into this problem. Do you see what I mean? You kind of see what I mean. It's good when you can level who you want, but I suppose some of the games are like this. Supercard, for example, generally you can level who you want as they're in a high tier to progress. Yeah, so you can level up anyone you want. The problem is, generally speaking, the campaigns give you some of the best rewards, at least can like letting you go for the game. It's just a case of these campaigns specifically need specific people. And it doesn't need to be any. It could be any of these people. You know, the 7 characters here. It could be any 3 of them. Chances are you're going to have Raquel and Tiffy, I think, through the campaigns anyway. Your third one can be any of them. You know, Charlotte needs 450 tokens, which is 4 times the amount of tokens than any other character here. So I would assume she's going to be a lot harder to unlock. But if you did want to spend the time, for example, to get Rhea Ripley, you could take Rhea, you know, you could go get Rhea if you wanted to and then come back to this. But Rhea, I think, is actually part of this campaign. I know she's part of I guess I should explain a little bit of how this works. So every single match that you do has like the narrative, right, that I was just talking about. You have access to you kind of go linearly through the matches, and you will get first time rewards for beating the match. If you beat the match with 3 people remaining, because also your people can get eliminated. It's like a 3-on-3 match, but your team can get eliminated and knocked out as the match goes on. Basically, if you win the match with 3 people still intact, then you basically complete the match. You see here, I've got 3 stars against 2 stars against 1 star, whatever. If you have 3 stars, if you perfect the match, you can use the auto win mechanic, and you can just use your energy to automatically get the rewards from that match. Where that comes in extremely handy is when you are leveling up your characters and you need specific items, or in the event of, you know, I've really struggled with this towards the end here, but, you know, if I wanted to get, I forgot her name, Kaylee Ray, whatever her name is, Alba Fire. If I wanted to get Alba Fire, for example, I would really ideally want to win this match with 3 stars, auto win, and then I have a better chance of getting those tokens to then unlock that character. I'll find someone else that probably is a better example. I've been trying to get Bam Bam Bigelow for a while. I don't know how many tokens I need. for Bam Bam. So in the top left, you can see that Bam Bam requires 140 tokens, of which I have 91. So here are all the different ways that you can unlock. You can unlock these characters by getting these tokens. So there are different matches I can do. So for example, I have the Legends of WrestleMania match here. I can potentially gain 3 tokens per match. Realistically, I'm probably not going to. And I can do that match. I think I can do that match 5 times. So I could theoretically 3, 6, 9, 12 tokens. Theoretically, against. It's all random odds, like it's all randomly generated, so you never really know what you're gonna get. You find it strange in this game and other mobile games that they still have old characters. Yeah, I have noticed that actually. We can go through the roster in a little bit as well. I feel bad that I haven't really shown the game yet, but anyway, you can of course obviously buy shards as well. I would say they're a little pricey, personally. I think £8 or £7.58 to be exact, but I'm rounding up here to £8. £8 for 10 tokens, considering that I need another 50 to unlock Bam Bam. That adds up, right? That's going to be a lot of money. That is a large McDonald's meal. Yeah, but I need 5 of them. So, yeah, I appreciate that the money is an option there. It's a little pricey, though. I don't think I'd be going for that. But you can get the tokens through the chests as well. So you can earn other tokens in the game to unlock chests. You get a basic chest every day. It kind of just gives you like random rewards. You do usually get like a random character token or some sort of level up thing. Usually some money. Here we are. We got some money. That's fine. Not a lot of money, but hey, it's you can do that like 2 or 3 times a day, so it's pretty handy. So let's, without overcomplicating things, let's just quickly show you kind of how the matches work, right? So this is where I'm at now. This is my current blocker. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm probably not going to be able to win this match. So for example, here you can see. The reason I can't win this match is I think because my Kofi is probably too weak. I could theoretically substitute Kofi for Austin Theory, and that would give me a better chance of winning, but not guaranteed for sure. I guess if I leveled up Austin to 42, which is my current level, it would probably be a little bit better. Although I don't have any fucking money, so I wouldn't be able to. Alright, I leveled him up a little bit there, so let's see. Okay, that's probably as best as I'm gonna get, right? Okay, so on the right here, I'm covering up a little bit, but you can see that that is the characters, that's the opposing side's power. 7619 is the team composition's power. My team power is 7507. They also have synergies, and the synergies will allow for different stats. So because I have like a synergy with Otis here, he will apply different boosts. What actually is it? Oh yeah, so if this superstar has any 2020 era allies, Austin Theory, then I can deal an extra 30% damage. And likewise, his tree stump ability also has a thing where other SmackDown members will get defense up and recovery. So it is actually pretty strong. Let's dive into this match because the music's distracting me. So let's dive into a match and I'll show you guys exactly how it works. You will hear the music of your character. Oh, I'm playing at 3 times speed. You do have different speed options. So if you want to, not ass blast through the game, but if you want to, grind through some levels, you can certainly do that. So here we have our first option here anyway is Austin Theory on the left. So we have our options below me. There we are. So we have, see you later, Miss Klein. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate it. we have all these different abilities. So if I hold the button, you can see that it will tell you like what the ability does. Now, the more that you do it, the more that you'll understand roughly what, you know, how it works. So in this case, apply recovery to all team members for 2 to 3 turns. It's kind of weird that it's randomized, but hey ho. Likewise, the top row there is for if he was in the ring. So if he was in the ring, I'd have access to that top row of abilities, but he's on the apron, so we only have access to the bottom row of abilities there. So we'll just go with that. The boost is going to be good in the long run here. And then we have Orton. This little icon here with 3 arrows basically means that he's going to attack everyone on the team. And then we'll see here, defense is decreased by 35%. There's a whole bunch of stats here. Deal 115% damage to all opponents. If the primary target is a WWE legend, we're not facing any legends here, it'll deal an additional 20% damage to all opponents, but that's fine. Apply defense down to all legend opponents, but we don't have any legends. So basically all we're going to be looking at here is a whole bunch of damage, but no bonuses, unfortunately. But we'll do it anyway. It's actually really weird for me to see the game in ×1 speed at this point. I should say as well, there's different, every character has a different specialization, right? So Orton is like a technician. He can do lots of really cool damage abilities. He can also apply buffs and debuffs, I think that's what technicians do. I actually can't remember. Generally speaking, if you're ever stuck with a character and you don't know what they do, just tap the screen, hold it on that character, and it'll tell you roughly what they do. It doesn't tell me what a technician does, so fuck it, I have no idea what a technician does. Austin Theory has a little microphone. He is a healer, so he will heal the team. And Otis has a shield. He's a tank. He has abilities basically to he basically has the ability to make opponents hit him and also increases his defense abilities as well. We're going to do that here. This little exclamation mark in the bottom right tells me that that's a taunt ability, which means that if I do this, people will hit him, which is something to bear in mind. But I would rather take that risk because I want to keep everyone healed up. I have this other game I played always in 2x speed. Normal feels like slow motion. It really does feel like slow motion. I will actually just put it to 2. I think 2x speed probably feels a little bit better, so let's go with that. Austin Theory now is ready to tag in, so we're going to tag in Austin Theory. And then we're going to use the signature ability here, which is going to be brutal damage, which ignores a large amount of the target's defense. It's the A-Town down. It's going to deal 135% damage. If the target is not a 2020s era superstar, deal 135% damage instead. That doesn't make sense because it only does 135% damage. This is early, okay? I don't think that makes any sense, but we'll go with that. Go. So this is a boss battle essentially, right? So this is actually supposed to be quite hard. I probably won't. I might be able to beat this, but I might not be able to. So we're gonna tap and we're just gonna see what happens here. You can target specific people, right? So for example, I'm targeting Seth Rollins here because he's a healer, and I think I want to target the healer first because he's gonna heal the team probably more than I can damage. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting Seth out of there as quick as possible. Austin Theory, you see he has that glow around him now, especially in his icon. Orton has it as well. That means that their finisher is available, and their finisher obviously does like a whole ton of damage. However, I can't tag him out yet because there's a little pip underneath the icon. That means I have to wait another turn, because every turn you get a new pip. So I can't tag out just yet, so I have to do more damage, just whatever it is to keep going. But I won't be able to use my finisher. However, Orton is able to tag in, so we're going to go for Orton. I've actually upgraded his ability so that when he tags in, he does a little cheeky hit over to the other guy, and we're going to go for the RKO. So we're going to roll Seth into the match, and we're going to hit him with the RKO. There we are, and it does a whole bunch of damage. Wasn't enough, unfortunately, to take Seth down. but that's fine. Because, see, unfortunately, if I had my taunt ability here, that would be fantastic, because it would stop Cody from using his finisher on anybody else, and it would mean that, like, Otis would take a lot of damage, but he would be able to deal with it, you know. Likewise, if they had a tank opponent on their side, I probably would go for the tank opponent, because the tank does have the most health and it does restrict who you can target, which is like a big thing in this game. You do want to make sure that you do need to take certain people out in certain orders to make sure that you have like a smoother experience. See, unfortunately, Austin Theory here, he's not looking too hot. I'm gonna have to go in there. Unfortunately, one of Cody's abilities, I think the Crossroads there, gave him this ability. You know, he's got little angel wings on above his little name. Cody has a little angel wings icon above his head. That actually means that he can't be eliminated this round. So if we were to somehow, like, if that was a crit and that actually did, if that actually did somehow beat him, it wouldn't have worked. It just wouldn't have. Which is really unfortunate, but that's fine. There's lots of other strategies as well. Like it's actually got quite a deep, the more I explain it, the more I'm realizing that it is actually quite a deep combat system. There's other things to bear in mind as well. Like there's a thing called injury in the game, which is kind of like a damage debuff every single turn. Depending on how you do it anyway, there's like every single turn that person will just take damage, and it can even beat opponents, you know, if the turn happens and they take damage and it happens to put them below 0 HP, they just fall, they just lose. Okay, I'm gonna tag Orton in here just for the sake of maybe getting Austin Theory, or trying to keep Austin Theory in the match here. Now, I have a really interesting predicament here where I can do this attack and it will do 115% damage to Jay, but I can also do this attack, which is 150% damage, but it can do injury, which will give him 5% damage at the start of a turn. So yeah, there's no point in me doing the multi-person attack because there's not multiple people, there's only one. So let's do this attack. It'll apply injury, so that means that now Jay will be taking 5%. Unfortunately, Austin Theory did fall there, which is a lame, but that's fine, we'll survive off that. Another thing we can do here is that we can do the caterpillar. This is Otis's finishing move. Boom. And yeah, there we are. Now, I was saying before in the last stream, it would be really cool to have a kick-out mechanic, some kind of kick-out mechanic. Now, there are scenarios I've played where the character has actually kicked out. Now, I don't necessarily know what caused it, but it was a nice surprise when it happened. Likewise here, you can see in the match rewards, right? So from the left, we have the first wins. So the first time you complete the match, you will gain those rewards. And then the ones that are kind of like in the middle beyond, they're just like the generic response, like, you know, rewards that you get. So in this case, we did actually get 1,000 chests. I think that's for a premium chest. Premium chest tokens. So you have like a basic chest that you get I think you get 2 of them every day, I think. And there's also a premium chest. The premium chest does give you better rewards, but you can actually open quite a lot of premium chests just by playing the game. There's also these tokens, which is a basic chest. So yeah, lots of very cool rewards there. And that takes us into 2-1 actually. So there's not even, that wasn't the end of the story. There's more to do. Now, what's interesting though is obviously that 1-6 storyline there. That was like a boss fight there. Players, the final boss is what? Oh, so I'm fighting Teddy Long, by the way, in this one. So the final boss is watching. Raw's reputation's on the line, and I'm putting all my faith in you there. Why is Teddy the manager of Raw? That's weird. Teddy's SmackDown story ends at the Royal Rumble with Raw on top. That's what I'm talking about. Now go out there and show SmackDown why Raw runs this business. Holla holla. There we are. That's the only story that you missed from that one. But the power on this one was 7619, because it was like a kind of boss. But if I go to 2-1, I would imagine that's going to be yeah, it's 7323. So it's interesting that like the bosses aren't always sequential with the power. I don't know what to call it. The power rise, shall we say? It's quite interesting how this game determines the power. It's also clear to me that they're kind of tweaking this, right? I haven't experienced it, but I've read in like the update notes that they do tweak the kind of power balances for certain matches. So there's lots of really, really cool stuff. It seems like the developers are pretty they're pretty on it, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. Like they're pretty proactive in terms of like seemingly updating the game. It's had a few updates, pretty much like one a week, I guess. With little tweaks here and there. The game updates quite often with like new events and stuff as well. He says that as the store freezes. Okay, well, I think I'm on my Wi-Fi, so I don't know why that didn't work. So yeah, you can see here, there is the basic chest on the left there that is going to renew in about 3 hours time, which is cool. We have the premium chest here, assuming that my internet is working, which is fantastic. Oh, there's a little information icon. So this is something I was wondering as well. I ran into a money problem in the game, right, where I need to get more coins to update my characters like Kofi Kings and stuff. And I did actually use my diamonds to get a coin chest, which is this guy. 500 diamonds to get a coin chest, which is super. The game's a little heavy on the prices, I would say. Like 500 diamonds is quite a lot. But the rewards you get can be really, really good. So, for example, if I click this button here, which I've never clicked before, I seemingly just never saw it. Legally, developers have to disclose what the chances for getting certain items are. So you've got a 100% chance of getting coins. Now, interestingly, the first coin chest I bought the other day gave me 1 million. 1 million coins. Which didn't last very long, by the way. Just going to throw that one out there. But anyway, a 1.25% chance of getting 1 million. Amazing that I even got that in the first place. The second chest that I bought gave me 500,000, which is also a 4% chance. So I seem to be quite lucky in terms of what I was getting. It's weird though, because 500,000 and 1 million sounds like a lot. It doesn't get you very far. You will use those very, very quickly, but it's interesting that 79% chance of getting 100,000, and a 0.25% of getting 3 mil. I mean, that would be cool if we hit that. Fuck it. You know what? I think I've got the coins. This is really stupid and I shouldn't do this, but we're on stream, so I'm gonna hit the diamond. Dude, if I get fucking 100k, god damn it, fuck. And no, I can't afford anything, but that's fine. 100k is actually good. I do need that. I would have rather have had anything else. I do think though, given the cost of a lot of things, 100k for 500 diamonds is not good value. So if that is the kind of like, if that's what I'm going to get very often, I probably won't do it. There's other ways to get items that, yeah, it's just not worth it. It's actually probably more beneficial to replay campaign missions to get money using your energy that you get for free every day than it is just to spend your diamonds on your coin chest. So anyway, we've unlocked a premium chest, so let's see what's in the premium chest. Oh, we got 15 Alundra Blaze tokens. That's actually really good because I actually did need I do need Alundra and do need more women in my roster. I guess we could have a look at the roster as well. You know, Elite Nova, you were talking about the out of dateness of the roster. I think it's a weird mix of kind of in date and kind of not in date. The benefit of the game is that it is it is like a Legends themed game, so you can kind of get away with having old gimmicks, right? That's me just covering their backs essentially. But when you start the game, if you saw the stream from 2 weeks ago, when you start the game, you do get the option to choose what your starting character can be. It can be The Rock, Rhea it could be John Cena, Rhea Ripley, John Cena, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, The Rock. I don't know. I chose The Rock because I like The Rock. Welcome in, Slade. Hope you're well, man. So over the time, I've obviously unlocked quite a lot of characters as we've gone on. I think like Jay is not his current gimmick. Obviously, it's still quite new, but like, you know, Natalia is the boat. Some of the weirdest characters to me is like Kairi Sane's still in the game. And by all means, I'm not saying this to remove people. Please never remove people from this game. But it is interesting that like Kairi Sane is there, Dexter Lumis is there, and Dexter Lumis, by the way, is not even in his Wyatt gimmick, which is even more weird. Kofi Kingston's one that I've unlocked recently, and I was like, oh, it's like it's face New Day Kofi Kingston, which I don't inherently hate, because I wasn't really vibing with the New Day, the heel New Day anyway. But again, I don't want other people might get the idea that like this is an outdated game. This game's not even out yet. Like, or at least it's not out in all regions. So like the game's not even typically like traditionally out yet. And we have these like really weird oddities. You know, Chad, fair enough, Chad Gable's only been back for a few weeks now. So Chad's still is American made stuff. There's no El Grande Americano as far as I can see. Who else is on here? We've got Xavier Woods. He's a character that I'm actually surprisingly close to unlocking. I'm actually closer to Sherry than I thought I was. Sherry has been like one I've been targeting for a while, and she's just been really, really tough to get. So it looks like I might actually unlock some of these in the next few days or weeks, which is pretty cool. But there's other characters here like Bailey. I've faced her a few times. I haven't really been able to unlock many of her tokens, unfortunately. But the Bailey model here looks like it's the kind of role model. I think that's her current gimmick anyway. Who else do we have? Liv Morgan. Yeah, that's her Dirty Dom gimmick. That's fine, I would say. And they do label these as well as like, this is Liv Morgan 26. So I guess like, if it is just an older, like Kofi Kingston could just be Kofi Kingston 23, and then later on they just add in a new one, you know, if they really want to cover their backs in terms of these old gimmicks. Rey Mysterio is pretty cool. I haven't unlocked him yet. He's quite far away from where I'm at, but yeah, he's wearing the tights instead of the trousers, but he's only recently just started doing that. Even then, it does say Rey Mysterio 22, so like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. What else do we have? Solo Sikoa is the weirdest one, I would say. Solo Sikoa, you can't really see it here, but he's got the towel on his head and he's got the bare feet. Like, it does say Solo Sikoa 23 again. Don't shoot the messenger. But Solo Sikoa, I feel like it hasn't changed his look that much, but like he hasn't had the towel for a hot minute, I would say. But then again, it is a specific 2023 skin, so I could be completely talking out my ass. Stone Cold Steve Austin here, you can see he has the highest amount of tokens, 1,200. That is because he is like the final, for lack of a better term, the final boss of the game, right? If you complete the road, which is what we opened up here, complete all of these like objectives by just playing the game, doing everything, leveling up your characters, completing all the campaigns, you will unlock enough tokens, I presume, to get Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm actually not even that far away from it, to be honest. But yeah, you will unlock Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then you can raise a can of whoop ass. Now, what is interesting to me though about Stone Cold is there is a star rating mechanic. I'll need to cover myself up there, or move myself back up here. There is a star mechanic here. So like, for example, my Roddy Piper, he is a 1-star Roddy Piper. I can get more tokens. So when I get to 40 tokens, I'll be able to rank them up to 2 stars. And that's how I've ended up with these characters like my Angelo Dawkins and my Seth Rollins that are at 3 stars. My Rock's at 3 stars. I actually think I got him at 3 stars. Eddie Guerrero as well. I ranked him up to 3 stars. So what is interesting to me about like Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1,200 tokens, and you can only get those tokens through the road. There must be a way to farm tokens for him to rank him up, because if he's a 1-star character, he's going to be completely useless to me, because I won't really be able to unlock, like level him up. There's also the when you choose your starting character, I chose The Rock. That doesn't lock you out from the other characters either, because you can still unlock Cena, Hogan, Rhea Ripley, through other means. It just might take you a little while to get there. So for example, Cena, Hogan, I guess I've already got tokens for them. I don't know how I got, or sorry, they call them shards. Just call them by the proper names. Obviously you can just buy them, right? You can pay money, buy them. Annoyingly, I actually can't right now because this game isn't available in the region, so I can't actually buy anything off the shop, which is really frustrating actually. But Cena, for example, I think I've unlocked his match. Yeah, so in the campaign there, I can do that match to unlock more shards. So if I really wanted to, I could just, every day, I could just use my campaign energy to, you know, unlock more Cena tokens. I would eventually unlock him, and then I'd be able to use him in any mode. I'd love to have Rhea Ripley as well, but I am quite a ways away from being able to unlock Rhea at this point. But that is because I haven't unlocked her campaign yet. So there's a campaign here, Golden Era 2-6. So that's going to be the one that I guess I would want to farm if I wanted to get Rhea Ripley tokens. The reason I've got 12 out of 140 is just because I've obviously gotten tokens from opening random chests here and there. But that's the entire roster. You know, it's not a bad roster. Can I filter by legends? Oh, you can. Okay, cool. I feel like in some ways I don't feel like the game is weighted correctly. I was thinking about this recently. I feel like there's more modern people than there are, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, don't get me wrong. We're comparing 3 brands to 1, I suppose. But I mean, yeah, there's definitely way more current people than Legends. Bear in mind, again, this game's not actually out yet. But there's only a few Legends. I mean, the Legends that you can pick from are pretty good. And you know, I was kind of thinking that there's not a lot of women. There's Lita, Alundra Blaze, Molly Holly, Wendy Richter, and Sherry. So maybe I'm unfair in saying that, actually. Maybe it's more just the fact that they seem to be really hard to get. Sherry, Wendy Richter, 260 tokens. You're not going to be getting her for a while. Sensational Sherry, she's been on my hit list for the longest time. Holly and Blaze, I guess I did get. I think I got Blaze quite recently. And then, yeah, Lita, I've never gotten a token for Lita. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But I guess that they know that, right? The developers probably know that I want those characters, because it's like Rhea Ripley, if you don't select her at the start, you're going to have to work to get her, because obviously everyone wants Rhea, right? That's kind of that's how they get you. It's how they hook you. But yes, I've explained a little bit about how the campaigns work and how the story mode works, the premise of the story. I mean, like, the premise of the story is okay, right? I personally don't mind magic in the video games. I think the premise in the game is like loose enough that it isn't like too much of a problem. The narrative in general is quite unobtrusive. Like, at the end of the day, you just want to play matches and gain rewards, right? So the narrative is just an extra bonus on top of that. And they've tried to make a narrative that kind of makes sense. And magic in video games can sometimes, or magic in wrestling video games can sometimes be a little bit like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm thinking back to like the SmackDown versus Raw Road to WrestleMania, where you had like zombified Santino Marella and zombified Finlay or whatever it was. And then you also have like the 2K originals for 2K20, which fucking nobody liked. And you have those. It's quite similar to 2K20 in some respects, actually, because you can have this visual novel thing of like the characters standing on screen talking to you. I would say that this game actually probably does that better than 2K20 in some respects, because there's a lot of writing, a lot of reading to do in the campaign, because obviously every time you click on a match, every single time there's always dialogue, right? Every single time, which is totally fine. I do like that they give us a narrative. I have, in a way though, tuned it out, which is unfortunate, and it's maybe just because of the volume of writing. But then again, like basically it gives you the crux of the story in Then Now Forever by basically saying the final boss, magic bullshit, managers from all eras are now coming to fight you. Every single campaign is just another variation on this manager is going to fight you and beat you, and then you beat them, until I guess we get to here, and I don't even know what these campaigns are going to be like. And then the last one, NXT Man Up, I'm presuming, I don't actually know because I can't get to it, but I'm presuming that's going to be like, you are fighting The Rock now, and The Rock will probably kick your candy ass, which I am excited to get to. I don't even know how you get there. You have to reach player level 60. Okay, so that might take me a hot minute to get to, considering that I can't spend money to progress any faster, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. There are so many other things I could discuss. Like, there are loads of different features in this game. It's actually a lot more in depth than you'd probably think. You have like superstar challenges here. So for example, these are the characters that you unlock. So for example, you know, we're talking about trying to think here. So there's an event going on here for American Made, right? So to do this gimmick, to do this event, which has some nice rewards, it's got diamonds and coins. To do it though, you need to have Chad Gable, Brutus Creed, and the other one, Julius Creed. I only have 2 of them, so I can't. It says I can do it, and I technically could do it if I leveled the guys up enough, but I'm not going to. So I've got a permanent little red dot on there to say I can do it, but I really don't want to. I don't want to do it with 3 people or 2 people, which I probably could. I'm nowhere near unlocking Julius Creed, unfortunately. To unlock Julius Creed, though, I actually don't know how you unlock Julius Creed. Maybe a better example then would be to say, if I wanted the Street Profits, obviously I've already unlocked Montez, right? There are 3 characters in the bottom there. There's Bailey, Seth, and Dexter. By upgrading those 3 characters, I'm completing challenges to unlock Angelo Dawkins. Likewise, if I want to unlock Montez, I need to upgrade my Piper, my IRS, and my Bam Bam. I would like to have the Street Profits in my team, but it does require 140 tokens for Montez, but you can't get the tokens any other way, so you specifically have to complete these challenges. The challenges aren't particularly hard. It's literally just like ranking up IRS, upgrading IRS, upgrading his moves, and it's the same for Piper. Ranking up Piper, his upgrade tiers, his moves, and then if I had Bam Bam, it'd be recruiting Bam Bam, leveling him up, upgrade tiers, moves, all the rest of it, and then you get a special cutscene for recruiting Montez. So basically, complete a whole bunch of shit, recruit Montez, and you'll just continuously earn these tokens as well. So even though I have, oh god, Shawn Michaels is a million miles away from me right now, but you know, I have loads of tokens here for Kyrie. I could actually make Kyrie a 4-star maybe, because I have that many shards. But that's because I have the 3 characters. I have Otis, Farouk, and Raquel, and she, like, by leveling them up, taking them through the campaigns, because I've been able to use Raquel in the women's campaign, been able to use Farouk in the Legends campaign, and Otis now in the SmackDown campaign. I've just naturally been able to unlock more Kyrie shards than anyone else just because I've been ranking them up the most. And then in a way it unlocks more shards for Kyrie, which means I can level her up, and it's pretty cool in that regard. These are also timed events, right? So we have 3 days left for the Sherry Martel event. Sometimes I get a little bit lost with some of the mobile gameness of it all, right? Because this is 6 minutes. This event ends in 6 minutes. Okay, well, it's annoying because you know, that event ends, I don't even have the characters. I have Chelsea Green, but I don't have Alba Fire or Piper Niven, so I haven't been able to do this. And but it looks like actually you get a pretty substantial amount of tokens for what's her face, for Charlotte, right? Which is really unfortunate. That's basically, so it just seems that this event is basically how you unlock Charlotte, but it's going to go away. And I guess the events are rotational; they'll come back, but for the time being, I won't really be able to do it. The Sherry Martel one has been going on for a few days now. I've been able to do a lot of stuff on there, and again, unlocking tokens for Sherry, but I haven't really been able to. I still haven't been able to unlock her. Another thing about these events is it's not always obvious, but the contributions that you make to the event. So I should say here, like, I'm number 37th on the leaderboard here. I don't even have a lot of points, but to get points, you have to spend, you have to do the campaigns, you have to win a match in the Sunday Spotlight, which is another separate event, win a rush match or win rush matches with AFA in your team. So by doing that, you will increase your score. You'll go higher in the leaderboards, and then at the end of it, you'll get like different rewards. So, you know, if you're rank 1, you get a whole fuck ton of points and tokens and all the rest of it. And then rank 11 to 50, even more. I think that's actually where I am right now. So that's why it's telling me that's where I am. That's why it's highlighted. That's where I am. So I would get those rewards. Likewise, by contributing to the milestone or contributing to the leaderboards, I can unlock more milestones and unlock more tokens to then open chests, and the chests have a better chance of giving you money, tokens, all this. There's so much fucking really weird stuff in here. Again, only scratching the surface, genuinely only scratching the surface. There's so many stuff to consider. I haven't actually started this campaign though, so let's have a look at the SmackDown. Okay. So I probably can't see. It's tough. I don't know if I can do that because I need to upgrade my Kofi. But I guess I don't need to upgrade Kofi right now. I'm taking back what's mine. So the problem is, my Kofi's at 1 star, and that's really gonna hamper me being able to use him, but it's fine. 7-6-5-1, we should be fine. There's a lot of synergy in this team, mostly because of Street Profits. So there's a bug in here where it doesn't actually show some of the icons correctly. So Montez, I think he's like a technician or something, but it doesn't show correctly. So let's load into this and see if we are able to. I probably should have saw the story. Okay, so yeah, he's like a technician or whatever. What's that? High flyer? You can, I think you can highlight these characters. Yeah, you can highlight these moves and you can see what they do, but I don't think it's overly relevant right now. So let's do a normal rotation then. We'll just do from the boosts. What's really nice is that the critical hits that you can do, they will like... The critical hits can do significant damage. If I could show you a match with The Rock, my Rock has a multi-person attack who has got a really high crit chance, and it basically just destroys like half of their health bar straight from the get-go, which is extremely handy. Oh shit. You can also miss moves as well, so there is a feature in the game where you can increase your dodge chance. You know, if you do a certain move or whatever, you can increase your dodge chance, which is a little bit frustrating, because it's really good when it works for you, but it's really bad when it works against you. It's really handy for, like, you want to increase your dodge chance or whatever for finishers, right? You want to avoid those finishers at all costs. So sometimes I'll do like one of my characters, I think it's like Nia Jax or something, she has like a taunt and dodge. So I think yeah, so this little dodge mechanic, which is the little person moving fast, he's not gonna take any damage from the next move, but he's also taunted, so I can't actually really do anything. I don't want to be using a signature move or anything, so I may as well actually just do a normal attack because it's going to miss. It's only the one move though, so if I was to now hop in as Orton, we're gonna get a cheeky strike, which is nice. And then we're gonna nail him with the 3 most dangerous letters in WWE. Man, these guys have a lot of health. I wonder if they've also got a tag team finisher as well. I've never figured it out, but apparently, like, you can do like the 1D and stuff as a finisher. I just don't know how you do it. Okay, so this punch attack that Orton's going to do is going to inflict injury, which is nice. The opposing Seth Rollins has a curb stomp waiting as well, which is very frustrating. The curb stomp is quite an annoying move because it will... I think this is his finisher. How high does he get? Oh, nice. The curb stomp's really annoying because it will stun you for a turn or two. It's quite fun playing the game on my my monitor. I know there's like Android emulators, but I haven't been able to get the game running on the Android emulator, so... And Lord knows I tried, but the game's not out yet, so obviously there's always going to be issues, right? So... See, Otis is taking a lot of damage here. I actually still can't tag out yet, which is really unfortunate. He does have a finisher, but I just can't use it. That was a really nice hit there. I think I am going to tag Austin out. Because Austin's a healer, you know, he doesn't have as much health. Orton as well. Bit of a glass cannon, in a way. I don't know if you guys ever heard that phrase before. A glass cannon, essentially, is somebody who can deal a ton of damage, but they will not be able to really take that much in return. Okay, I'd opted not to go for the caterpillar there, which is could be risky, but I just wanted to try something.
Taking it to the outside. Watch this.
Otis is running a little bit low in health, but I think I'll just keep dealing damage here. This feels like a game that could have like a PC app though, right? Obviously, like, it looks really nice. I could see, I don't know, like, I'm not a developer, I don't fucking know anything. But I feel like I'm thinking like a Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis or whatever. Like, this seems like a game that could theoretically run on PC. Oh yeah, this happens sometimes as well. Characters just don't animate. It looks goofy, but it's very funny when it happens. We haven't seen it yet, but quite often the top rope will disconnect as well. That's a really fun bug when that happens.
Feeding off the crowd's energy.
I will say, like, if you're a stickler for the details like I am, the turnbuckle pad is perfect to some extent. Like, the actual pad with the logo on it is great, but the actual turnbuckle covering behind it being white infuriates me, and it has no reason to, but it just really annoys me. As a person who has a particular detail for the way that arenas look, it really bugs me that the turnbuckle bits are white. They also have the old stages in this game, which is a bit odd. And going back to what Nova said about the roster, it's weird that the arenas are the old style arena from like Vince's era. The blue brand ain't scared, Teddy Long. We're loud and proud, and we're bootylicious. Oh my gosh, Teddy, can you say hello hello for me, please? Can I borrow your suit? Do you still have that cell phone? He had a cell phone? Players are giving me a headache. Get out there before I put all three of you in a tag team match against The Undertaker. See, it has a nice sense of humor, I think. Whether those cutscenes necessarily play into anything that's going on in the actual game is debatable, right? Because nothing that they said there really tied into this match, which has Kane.
Ready for action on Raw. The action starts now.
Kane, X-Pac, and Dexter Lumis. Now, the last time I faced Kane, he had so much goddamn health. So much. So we're going to see what we can do here. How much health does Kane have? 8,000 health. Fair enough. Otis actually has more than that, so it should be okay. Even still. Oh, nice. We got a good hit on X-Pac there. In fact, that attack is going to do more damage because they're legends, which is something I didn't even think about, but something to consider.
There's action going on all around the arena.
I think, like, generally speaking, the game can be really as deep as you want it to be, right? You could basically just spam the strongest, well, not spam it, but you can basically always do your strongest attack, and you'll generally be fine.
They're going for it.
If you wanted to have a bit more of an in-depth experience, then, you can look into the details of what moves do what, and you can substitute certain people. The problem is, I've noticed that the power specifically relates to, like, the overall star power of your team. Specifically relates to the kind of health that your characters have as well. So although, like, I might want to put Kofi in this scenario because he's maybe a better fit, he has no health. So basically, when I put him in a match at this level, he will just pretty much get destroyed, which is really frustrating. But again, these are all things that, like, the game is clearly being worked on. It will improve over time.
Enjoy the silence.
I'm having an absolute blast playing it as well. Like, I really do like it's simplistic enough in that you do just hit the buttons and do the attacks. Turn-based RPGs, I guess, have a bit of a stigma around them these days. Not because they're bad by any means. I mean, like, Expedition 33 and that Persona games have proven for the longest time. Turn-based combat, super popular, by the way. Square Enix has told us for years that, turn-based RPGs are dead in the water, and that's just not the case at all. So I really do like that this is like a simplistic take on it. You really only have like 3 abilities at your disposal at any given time. But I think the fact that it's not overcomplicated makes it funner. And having all the stats and the different abilities all build up, I think also adds to that depth, right? So you don't have the depth of abilities, but you do have the depth of debuffs and buffs, and who is the different specializations of like who does what better than other people as well. Thinking back to my other team compositions, you know, there's a multi-person attack that that Orton can do here. You know, Raquel Rodriguez can also do a version of that. Raquel's version of the move, though, will heal her for the damage done, which is quite handy in a pinch. So Raquel has a multi-person attack, and she will attack the whole team, and the damage that she does to that team will... Oh, here we go. Osis recovers from the attack, so he would have been down there had I not used that finisher, but because I used that finisher, that gave him the whatever that ability is called, and it stopped him from being downed. Now, what we really need, if possible, would be to deal as much damage as possible. Yeah, we don't really need health recovery at this point, so Matt's just going to deal some extra damage here with Austin Theory. Orton, if the... Okay, that's good. Accuracy and speed up. I think we're going to go for that one. I think that's what we need.
Perfect setup and execution.
Okay. So we have one more attack. Let's go for this one. That's maybe the wrong attack, but whatever. And you see, by using that finisher to stop Otis from being eliminated, that allowed me to get 3 stars in that match, which is, again, plays into the strategy, right? So yes, it's maybe a simple game, but there are choices that you can make during a match that will drastically change kind of how things play out. And then we're on to our next boss. So let's see what the storyline is here. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest at this time, representing the New Day, Xavier Woods. Doing a little weird hoppy dance there. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Okay, that's all. I really need to say that. I'm living the dream right now. Well, you certainly are enthusiastic. Good luck to you and the rest of the SmackDown roster, and now let's get back to the action. So again, not really much in terms of, like, you know, it's not exactly pushing the story forward, but it's there. I wonder if it may tell the story more efficiently, more better if you just had like cutscenes at the end of all the boss fights rather than just every single match having one, because as fun as the character building is for every single match like that, having the interview with Mean Gene and stuff like that, I don't think it's overly valuable. Like, it is fun, but the character building, like, I already know who Xavier Woods is. I think it would be unusual for somebody to be playing this game and not know who, you know, Xavier Woods would be. But yes, I'm under ability in this match. So again, like, it's weird because my characters here are at the max level now. So I kind of don't know how to level them up. I think I would have to level them up by upgrading their tiers, right? So, Jesus, that music is so loud. For example, you know, it says here find on the right. So if I click on that, I can do 4 of these, I guess. There we are. So now I have that. I can craft that. I'll tier him up. So you see his power is 2419. If I tier him up, he's going to go up to 2419 up to 2693. So what, like a 2, 4, 5, so like a 300 power difference. I can equip more items here as well by doing this. That'll increase his power even more to 2766. So we've already, just by doing that, increased Orton's ability by 4, 5, 6, 7, about 300 or 400 points, which is really handy. And likewise, I guess I'm going to have to do that for everyone, essentially. Otis, so what was that? Orton was at tier 4, Otis is at tier 4, Austin's also at tier 4, so you would think, I mean, to be fair, the power difference we're talking about, 8103, 8201, or 210, I could probably win. I maybe wouldn't get 3 stars unless I played really well like I just did with Otis, but chances are probably not going to work out, unfortunately. I should say as well, one of the key ways of leveling up in the game is to complete the daily goals. These reset at 1 a.m. for me. I don't know what 1 a.m. is. You know, it's in... what time is it? 10, 11, 12... Wait, 11, 12, 1. So it's in 3 hours time. Whatever 3 hours time is locally for you guys. You know, this will reset, and you can see the different things that you can do here. You do these every day, right? There is no you wouldn't, unless you chose to skip these, you wouldn't miss anything, because these are all really simple daily goals. It's I think it is just to get you to log in and play just a couple things. Win 4 matches anywhere. I think that can include auto win. So if you just auto win 4 matches, then you would probably get that. There is one that is win 1 male and female match, but no auto win, so you do have to play that match manually. Win 10 matches in campaign, super easy. You always have enough campaign energy to do that, and if you didn't, you could use your diamonds to refill your energy anyway. Train a superstar 1 time, so you can just literally just level up 1 level. It doesn't cost very much to go from level 1 to 2, so you could just always take your worst character and just level them up. It wouldn't cost a lot of money. Equip 2 upgrades. Again, if you were really struggling, you could probably do that for a lower tiered character, like a level 1, 2. Also win 10 matches. You'd probably get that anyway. Open 2 basic chests. You'll do that just by auto winning, and you'll get 1 free chest anyway. Likewise, make purchases, claim free chests or supplies 5 times. Likewise, you kind of just do that automatically. Win 3 matches in teams trials. Every single day there's a different trial. I'll show you them in a second. There's also 2 matches in Rush, and spend 10,000 coins. Again, very easy to do. The team trials is this thing here. So every single day there's like a different trial to do. So there is a reason to log in on different days. You also get daily bonuses, actually. I probably should show that. Daily login bonuses. So for example, there's a Saturday night's main event going on here. The next day is going to be in 2 hours 44 minutes. I'll gain those tokens, you know. If you have to log in every single day, by the way. If you don't log in every day, your chain breaks and you'll have to start from day 1 again, which is really unfortunate. So if you do want to get the day 14 reward, then you absolutely have to log in every single day. I wonder if you could cheese that though, because 31k money is pretty good. So if I just logged in every second day, would I keep getting 31k, or would it just pick up from the day that I'm on? Interesting thought. There's also a daily login, so every single day there's a different thing. Likewise, you know, day 4 is going to give me some leveling up stuff. Day 7 is going to give me 10 diamonds. It's not a lot of diamonds, but it is good. It's good to have for sure. And then going to the premium chest tokens, I guess I logged in for 7 days, so I got all my premium chest tokens. That's going to reset tomorrow, and I guess it'll go back to 25 tokens, and it just builds up like that. So you can end up getting, it's 2k, 2k for a chest. So what if you log in every day, you get 2 premium chests a week, I guess. That's pretty cool, I guess. That's pretty cool. Better than nothing. Completing your achievements. Achievements is like another way to have like player group progression. It's a good way of earning premium chest tokens, as well as Rey Mysterio tokens. Although I did do the maths recently. The Rey Mysterio token, there is not enough Rey Mysterio tokens here to actually unlock him. So I'm very curious as to how you actually unlock Rey Mysterio. There may be a way that I'm not aware of. Likewise, I've spent 7 million fucking WWE coins. That's crazy. So I've unlocked that. I've now got 5 extra tokens for IRS. So I'll soon be able to tier him up. Likewise, upgrading Randy Orton to upgrade tier 4 gave me 5 Chad Gable tokens. I'll soon be able to upgrade him to tier 4, which is very cool. So my characters are getting stronger, which is very, very cool. This never unlocked earlier. I'll try it again, see if it works this time. It did. There's lots of different tokens as well. It's all very confusing. It's all very mobile gamey, which is very unfortunate. I'm not sure where the game is out. I know for sure it's out in the Philippines and Ireland. I haven't done the digging to find out all the other regions, but it's having like a phased rollout right now, so you can consider this kind of an early access for the Philippines and Ireland. If you know what you're doing though, you can obviously get it like I did. But I don't know if I'm supposed to have. I don't know what the rules are. Okay, but either way, I've really enjoyed the game. I will continue to enjoy the game. I really love turn-based RPGs. So like some of my favorite games are like Final Fantasies. I just recently played Expedition 33. The Persona games are fantastic. So this is definitely one to watch for sure. Do you think Ricky Starks might get released? Do you mean like from the company, or do you think he'll get added to the game? Will Starks get released from WWE? Probably not, unless there's some drama that I'm not aware of. Will he get added to the game? I mean, probably. Don't see why not. I don't know. Like I'm not been in the loop of the game for that long, so I don't actually know what they've added to the game. Like, I don't understand yet the correct flow of the game. Like it's still very new, so I don't understand like how the events really do they come back, how they work, what kind of rotation are we talking about for the events. Adding new superstars to the game, I have no idea. Adding new campaigns, I would like. Are they going to add new campaigns to the game? I would imagine that they have to, right? Because they added new campaigns for the events. So, for example, we've got the Sunday Spotlight here, which is Afa and Sherry. That's how you get extra tokens for the Sherry event that's going on right now. Likewise, I would assume that when you complete the Rock storyline here, there must be like... I'm not saying there's anything more now, but I don't imagine many players have reached that level just yet. Although saying that, the leaderboards for some of these events are crazy. I don't know what screen that I just looked at. I've never seen that before. But if you look at some of these leaderboards, man, like I play the game. I think I play the game at a decent level. Like I've been playing it a lot on my free time, and like I'm 37 on the leaderboard with 56k points. But likewise, these guys up here, they have like 300k. I don't understand how they do that. They must have, like, looking at their profiles, they have like way stronger characters than I do. Like they're the same level as me. Okay, well they're level 55, I'm level 40 something or other. But like their characters are like a 6-star Tiffany Stratton. I've only got 2 stars. How they even got Rey Mysterio at that level, I have no idea. I don't understand how this game works at that level, or how you get that many points in these events. Because like in my this Sunday Night's Alliance, that this is just my little faction, my little group, and like I don't know, I'm 4th out of 24. I've just been playing the game. Like I don't understand how you. I don't know. This 13,000 is probably a bit more reasonable, maybe. I think they are also pretty high level. Yeah, exactly. They got like 5-star Angelo Dawkins. So I'm clearly missing something here in terms of like how to upgrade characters. Now, something to bear in mind though. Something to bear in mind. I'm a free-to-play player, right? So upgrading these characters, there might be a way to do it that I'm just not seeing. So, you can unlock... God, I don't even know how you do it. I actually genuinely don't know how you can actually level up those characters that way, unless there's like other events that I'm not aware of. Because I actually just thought that you could like maybe you can buy shards for your characters, which might be the case. So like if I go to Seth here, find shards, yeah, I guess you could. Because look, because again, you can spend £8 to get 10 shards, but to rank a character up to like 5 or 6, I mean that's a lot of game, you know. Unless you are just farming out the tokens from the campaign, but I don't know. It's a lot to think about. My icon seems to have disappeared for some reason. Okay, well I don't know why that happened. Do you think that Blake Monroe might get released? I don't know. I think it's interesting with Blake Monroe. Didn't she make that really big screw up recently where she had like she got hit with a moonsault? Not recently, it was ages ago, but she got hit with a moonsault. She didn't kick out, and then the match ended early. Right? That's a pretty rookie error. I know she got like injured essentially. She got winded, but like that seems odd. To happen to someone at that level. Hunter, are you going to be live on YouTube when the new DLC comes out September 9th? No. No is the answer to that. I will be live. I'll be live on that weekend, but I don't know what I'm actually doing that weekend. That does remind me though, I should say this Sunday, I have to make it official now. This Sunday, I'll be live reacting to AEW All In. I don't see why not. There's no point in me playing any games, because I don't know if anybody wants to see me play a game on Sunday, because AEW is on, and AEW All In is like their biggest show. It's their WrestleMania. So I think people are going to just want to watch AEW. Obviously, like all the other reactors, obviously, I can't show it on stream. But I think I can have the audio feed on, so you can probably sync it up with your with your thing, your stream, I guess. But yeah, let's hang out. We'll play. Well, we could do stuff during. Yeah, Sunday, exactly. We could do stuff during the stream. I don't know. We can do quizzes and stuff. We'll hang out. Because there's going to be matches on the card that I'm not particularly interested in, but okay. Let's go live. Let's react to AEW All In. Having just been to Dynamite, I think it's quite interesting. I'll have a somewhat of a unique perspective on the show, considering that I have no idea typically what's going on in AEW, but considering I was just at Dynamite and Collision, I have a better understanding of what's going on. But as for today, I hope you guys really enjoyed this little look at WWE Generations. Probably goes without saying, like I know this probably like doesn't need to be said, but this isn't a sponsored stream. Like I know I've just like glazed the game and basically just showed you how to play the game, but like the game's not out yet, so like I can't possibly have. It's not an ad. It's not. I genuinely, I actually don't even know how I found this game. Like, I'm so sure that I saw an advert for this on SummerSlam, but it might not have been. The more I think about it, I'm like, maybe I saw an ad somewhere else, but I'm pretty sure it was during SummerSlam. Maybe I was on my phone or something, and I saw an ad for it. I checked it out. I saw it was an action RPG, and I was like, a WWE RPG mobile game. I really do actually want to try that. So when I Googled it, I thought it was just going to be another WWE Champions. I thought it was going to be another match 3, auto player bullshit game that, just played itself. And that is not the case at all. Generations does have, I didn't even know this until yesterday, but the game actually does have the ability to play itself. There is like an auto in the match, you can press a button on the bottom left and it will automatically do abilities for you. So if you do want to get through some of the easier matches when you're higher ranks, you can actually do that, which I didn't know you could do. So that's pretty cool that that's there for as an option. But the game doesn't really play itself. It is a genuine game. And being able to play it so early and get involved, I want to, on the off chance that maybe the developers ever see this, I would absolutely just love to provide as much feedback as possible, because like genuinely, I love what they're doing. Like, I support the product. I really like what the vibe of what they're going for. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of mobile games. I do find them a little bit predatory. I've never really liked the monetization. I've never liked the idea of having multiple tokens to hide the really low rates that you make from playing the game, and having all these different tokens just confuses people. And that's mobile gaming. I get that. You have to have that, because that's like, it's all psychology. It's how people keep playing games, how people get addicted. It's why casino does it, because casinos don't let you play with your own money, because they come up with their own credit system, their own tokens, and that's how they get you. So it is not ideal. I don't like the industry. It's not the game's fault. I just don't like the industry where it's at with mobile gaming. But if a game comes out that seems to be doing things kind of right, and it is about something I really like, then I absolutely want to spend the time on stream, having a bit of fun, playing it, hanging out with you guys, explaining some of the game mechanics. And hey, when the game fully launches, we can all go into, there's a thing called an alliance, a faction, so I could create my own faction. We can call it VPW or whatever it may be, and we can all just play the game together. There are ways, there is like an alliance invasion, it's called. It is very much themed around ECW and Paul Heyman, but there is a thing called the Alliance Invasion. It's missions that you can play together. So the main event mafia, exactly, the Miz Mafia. That's what we'll call it, the Miz Mafia. So like, yeah, there's definitely ways of multiplayer. It's just that the game's just not out yet, right? It's just not there. It's not ready. Obviously, what I've played so far in the campaign, the online modes, it's a solid game. I would argue that as a the business has a term called the MVP, not Montel Vontavious Porter, but the minimal viable product. I think the game is beyond the MVP. It's beyond the viable product, the minimal but viable product. It maybe needs a bit more. I think like we're talking about, like, I think it does need to have the current stage design on the campaigns. I do think it maybe needs a bit more legends available to us. That would be nice. Maybe need to tweak some of the token rates for some of the characters, because like I don't think I'm gonna get Lita anytime soon. Maybe a bit more clarity on things like the road, and making sure that players stick to that, so they don't get stuck like I did for a couple days just farming money because I couldn't do anything else. There's lots of little things. There's loads of visual bugs as well. Like, there are loads. If you play on the higher speed, on the ×3 speed, like I said, the ropes disconnect from the corners. The ropes will fly about the place. Quite often moves will happen, and like one of the characters won't load properly, so the moves will be done to like a John Cena, like an empty person. Or like if you do like a multi-person attack and you go to knock someone off the apron, they will not, like, they'll just stand there and no sell it. Like, it's odd. There are lots of really weird visual quirks of the game, but playing it on a lower speed seems to work. So it seems to just be a problem with the ×3 speed. There are other arenas in the game as well. Like, there are there's the SummerSlam, Royal Rumble arenas, the Survivor Series, there's Clash in the Castle, there's Bad Blood. I've yet to see any kind of like WrestleMania arenas. I don't think I've seen NXT yet. But I would imagine, since there are storylines based around like NXT, I would imagine that it is, I would presume, there. I would assume there's a WrestleMania as well, but maybe that's being reserved for some of the later storylines with The Rock. So, but yeah, that's going to be WWE Generations for today. I hope you guys enjoyed just the little look, you know, and even then, bear in mind, I showed you guys many of them. There are 3 modes I didn't show you. Like, I have talked for over an hour and a half about this game, and there are 3 game modes I didn't even show you. I did not show you Rush, I didn't show you Arena, and I didn't show you the Alliance or the Alliance Invasions. So that goes to show that, like, there is more to this game. Never mind the fact that the campaign is actually quite long and difficult as well because of the power leveling. But there are also 3 other game modes available that have nothing to do with the campaign. They are totally separate things, totally separate entities. And yeah, it's a deep game if you want it to be. If you let it take over your life, I think it can, as it has done with mine. I think we're going to leave it there for today because my voice is getting pretty sore. I will keep you guys updated with any changes to the schedule, but regardless, I will go live on Sunday for the AEW All In reaction, and likewise will be there will be a new video review on the channel on Tuesday for WCW Mayhem, which means that next week, actually, fuck, I don't think I'm here next week. I just thought about this. Next weekend, I actually won't be here. So I will try and get some live streams in for WCW Mayhem at some point. I don't know when, but I will try and figure that one out because I quite enjoy playing the games that I've just reviewed on live stream with you guys. I get to get some of the reactions to the video and also talk about how just generally bad some of these games are, or good, depending on what game they are. WCW Mayhem, though, I'm going to bury the lead. It's not great. It's not the best game ever. With that being said, though, full review up on Tuesday, and we'll find time to live stream at some point. I'm waffling now. I'm going to head off. I'll see you guys Sunday. I'll be live a little bit earlier on Sunday because I think I'll probably go live for the pre-show just because I want to see... I want to know what's the pre-show. There's usually matches on the pre-show, so I'd love to see what is happening in the old pre-show. AEW shows are usually very, very long, so I need to make sure I get snacks and stuff as well. Well. Yeah, cool. Anyway, I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good weekend. I will catch you on the flip side. That's what the kids say, I think. Sure. Okay. Bye.